What's going on, YouTube? Time for another recap. So another kind of choppy, slow flush day, but we were prepared for it. So kind of want to go over it here. I do post a lot of these trades for my friends here on Twitter. If you guys want to give Wall Street Trades a follow, I can help you guys out by throwing a couple sentiment trades out there and giving you guys a couple of zones. I don't give everything out because obviously my paid service and my friends that we trade with every morning that tune in, definitely have the benefit of the doubt there. But if you follow the trade here, we had posted this morning a little thing, a simple watch today looking for a short under the yellow level and then moving down to blue. So 469.50. We posted that about 8:01, right? A half hour before market opens, right when I start my pre-market analysis for my team on Discord, because we do live trade this stuff and live stream this stuff every single morning that we can. So after our zone was lost here on the orange side, we put in a red level and gave you the showdown right here. I said we're probably going to go back down and fill the blue zone and then watch for other trades from there. That was the only short play. It's a very simple one, back down to 472.50. Breakaway, or break from, rather not to 472.50 breakaway. So after this breakaway, we're going to 469.50, which was your target zone, right? So we covered that in my chat, took that short early. So let's look, take a peek at what that looks like right here. This drawing tool won't close. There we go. All right. So on to the SPY. Since we trade ES off this, boom. All right. So morning, we got some random pop bolos here. We had data, right? So the first early morning drop, I wanted to get to 469.50, and we did that first zone take. That was right before data, right? So this gray box is a representation of the trading view that we were just looking at our price level. So the market opens up, it's trending under VWAP. It needs to come down to the lower VWAP. We use a lot of the VWAP extensions here as we trade. This is a regular VWAP. This is a +2. This is a -2. Orange always resistance, blue always target or support. So what we wanted to see is a crack underneath this volume area profile right here. We had a big resistance zone under the VWAP and came all the way down to our zone. Now, the data, obviously want to get out of those trades ahead of time, 9 a.m., and that popped us up. And we talked about in our trade chat that this would be a pop to drop today, and it was most likely going to come back down and further fill that zone, and we did. So if you look at that zone, again, on TradingView, as we kind of came into, push us back up here, that blue zone, we had a big opportunity for support and reversal, right? Because we're following leads down. Nothing goes in a straight line in the stock market. So we're putting in some fat candles to the downside here. We had really good MAC crosses here on the 15 with good oscillation waves in the morning, and that slowly turned back around after the regular algo close. We called after 10:30 a.m. Central this would be a really good time to swap it up. And I'll go back to the Twitter post, but we got the early morning short. Then I said over under this big blue channel volume profiles, and before I left my team, I gave them a long above 469.50, which was prior short target, back upwards, and we had a very good reversal on the 15 cross here. And you can see the histogram here slowly taking its time, shifting into that buy zone, creating the higher low and looking for the next move. I also posted a couple things looking for a short side under this zone, which was this Powell -1 anchor VWAP. So again, there's another tag of that. 30-minute, it was down a little bit more on Twitter, I think, but you got to get generally very close to these. So let's take a peek at our second trade call for the free on Twitter. I posted a intraday scalp trade. So let's go back to that. If my windows want to work nicely here, since I'm just so savvy on the webs, was right here. So this one, another intraday call. Scalp 472.20, long 5 points easy, and then target number 2 up to the 100 EMA 5 minutes. So we were in a consolidation zone here. We had room on the MAC. So what I'm telling you right here is you have a gap on the MAC. The MAC will retrace after a cross, usually to the 0 line, right? So we had a big old gap. So we had room above, and we also had room for the RSI to push back into top channel to go for a full reset. So let's take a peek at that. We were at 469.70s. It was right at our target short box. We were consolidating there again, right? And then we said target 1 would be 470.20 CCT1, and target 2, 5 minute 100 EMA on target 2. And again, in my trade chat, I do this live, and I said on the 1 minute chart, take the squeeze over the 100 EMA 1 minute and let it ride to either VWAP or take the 5 minute push back up to zone in 100. So let's take a peek at the 1 minute 100 EMA entry. This is really neat. So we had a falling wedge breakdown. I said that's probably a squeeze out. I just don't trust it. You have divergence here. You have 3 bottoms on the RSI as price action is creating lower lows and lower highs. That's divergence. Mac kind of followed price action here, but again, gave you a small histo wave and did the cross, but we said over. So I'm not interested in anything until it's over. So you see the squeeze back. So you'd missed that first move, consolidate. That's your long play right there. You're back into the 50 channel. You got the cross going on already. Everything is poised for the breakout back to VWAPs, like always, right? So the -2 VWAP down here never tagged, never came back down. We kind of seen that in RSI helping us out here. And we kind of knew a pop was coming, and I'll tell you why in a second here. And the 5-minute target, right, being here. So 5-day, 5-minute target on the 100 EMA was your target. Here's the green line again. So if you're not familiar with my charting or haven't watched any of the videos, 100 EMA is in the green right here. And then we also obviously utilize the VWAP extensions. So again, +2 on the WAP. You got a little love from that. So anything above the 100 EMA was this consolidation. So let's take a peek at how much you would have got there. And that was right here. So we're going to get over that VWAP. We're going to press that 100 EMA. We're going to get this cross, this double wave. And right there up to top, you would have got 10 points on ES, and then to the early target, 7.5. So another beautiful intraday squeeze that was called by us at 10:35. So we called that trade as it developed at 10:35 Central Time for me. And that was back in here. And I said, no, don't take it unless it's over the 100 EMA. And then we'll get those breakpoints. And here's 10:30 because our algo swap is right around 10:30 right here. And then we were slowly getting that falling wedge breakout, and then poof, I don't know where the big squeeze. So we've seen that coming a long time, and this is a very normal play. And let me tell you why this is very easy to read. Comes down to the volatility index, which has been pretty useless lately, but nowadays doing okay. So let's take a peek at the VIX. Something I noted before I left my live stream and chat. I said, guys, we have a gold level here at 1419. The VIX is into a double top range, and we are also just starting to shoot the standard deviation to an uptrend. So the VIX is getting that persistent move. Now that's because of that huge strong move that started yesterday, which that needs a little bit of a correct and come back down, because that is not really catalyst driven, that's technical driven. So unless there's a CPI Powell huge mover catalyst of psychology, we're generally not going to keep that momentum going right here unless we have a reason to. So when we came up to another technical top of a gold level, which are most important on TOS for me, into a resistance of the VIX here, that played out perfectly fine. And as that came down, that's what gave us the intraday consolidation squeeze, because the VIX wasn't going to go much higher there, right? And if you're looking at the rest of the move here, the 10 SMA loop is what I, again, posted on Twitter and what we talk about a lot of the time here. And I'll go to a easier time frame to see here. And I'll leave you guys with this last little bit of information. So we live did, I've traded this here. So we are day 2. That's our 10, okay? So 10 SMA is in the blue dashed right there. A 10 SMA loop is something where price action does not stay above. It loops under, but this is always most likely a short trap. So once this goes under, it needs confirmation to roll back over. So after we spend 2 days, maybe 3, under the 10, there's a good chance that we loop back up, and then we have to find a confirmation bias here using VIX, dollar, anything else that we can use as a macro, to either see a lower high play out, right? So this area is your lower high, then it will go lower, back down to some gaps, or it will pick up back over the 10, go fresh highs for a little bit further all-time highs, and then start a potential correction on catalyst, right? So we're still planning for a sell, the actual news event. The hype getting purchased up right now on rate cuts is something that you guys need to keep in mind. That is just that. It is hype. When that happens, they do not cut rates because everything is willy-nilly. They did it because they fucked something up, right? So let's watch for the hike and the dump, and we are still on par for a little bit more. And let's look at some of the metrics here just on the daily to keep in mind. We are coming down from that lower break, lower high ISI. We have a cross. That does not mean we can't price action up into resistance to continue, okay? So that's what you're looking for, is the short confirmation. So we spend 2 to 3 days under the 10. And whether it be pushing up to the 10 or a little bit over in a lower high scenario, or even double top or even higher, we look for confirmation intraday every time. And that's where it becomes easy. And that's why we're calling these live day by day, and even on Twitter. So that's your fancy. Give us a follow. If you want to trade with us, it's in the description. If you missed the prior video of us calling this stuff, also in the description. So give us a check, and we'll see you on the next video.